Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Group Chat. We got a lot to go over. And first and foremost, it seems like NFTs are done. So I don't really know what else to say. I mean, for everyone who is writing us and saying, hey, you guys are talking about NFTs too much, we're sick of hearing about it. Good news for you, we'll never talk about it again. So we have
down 80% will really crush your spirit on NFTs.
Yeah. We're going to talk about it. And we have one story in particular that really epitomizes, the change. The change that's going on. And then, we have a lot of news stories to talk about.
A lot of people getting rich.
A lot of people
Farmers.
getting rich. A lot of sketchiness. We have a lot of...
33 or 34.
33 or 34. Just clear it up. That's all we're asking. But there's a lot of things to look out for in this episode. We're going to give you some heads up. And then, I think we got to jump into politics land for a little bit here at the end. I think people are still talking about AOC and her dress. There was also, the big recall election for Gavin Newsom. So I think, let's talk about it.
Okay.
And then, of course, we're going to end with winners, losers, and content. Who is ready?
Woo! There it is.
Are you not sure? Were you unsure? Oh, my God. All right. Let's get into it.
For someone to join me.
No, you just... All right. Let's go.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Group Chat. Let's talk about. You want to get right into some news? Do we have anything to catch up on as a group of friends?
As a group of friends,
Anything we missed? No, everything's good.
Yeah, everything's good.
Is there football tonight?
Football tonight, Thursday night football.
There you go.
We're back.
Congrats, good for you guys. How are we panning out so far on fantasy?
I smoked our co-host Dee in week one.
I had a bad start to the season.
Wow. Are you in the lead of your whole tournament on it, or not that far yet?
Well, it's only one game.
Yeah, it's only one game. I'm 1-0 in both leagues. So,
so you're like tied with people right now.
Exactly.
Got it.
It's too early to figure all that out.
I got a big L to Anand in our league, and then I beat Benji Madden nicely in my other league,
which is known as the loser league amongst our friends.
Wow. Why? Because they're just not good at it? Is that why?
John Turgeon and Anand refer to as the loser league because they're not included in it.
It's a loser league. Bunch of losers.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to follow along as the season goes. We'll get a lot of updates.
Yes.
Okay.
It will be good.
All right. Well, let's jump right into the NFT fuckery, huh?
Okay.
So the new news.
This is so predictable. I knew this was happening. I said this was happening. Yeah. I'm glad it happened publicly so we can discuss this.
That's true. I'll give you credit for that because you guys, the whole squad called this early, but it still just blows my mind. So just a quick recap, NFTs. We were talking about Top Shot and all that stuff months ago. Then we kind of mentioned no one's really talking about NFTs lately. Are we just out of the loop or are NFTs sort of, down? Then all of a sudden, the last few weeks, NFTs is all anyone is talking about. So everyone on earth has their own NFT. They're buying NFTs. Dee tried to buy an NFT.
I successly bought one. It just down
you did,
80%.
Yeah. Is it down 80?
80%. Every time I look at the price, it's down.
What'd you buy?
I bought a loot.
Oh, you got in the loot circuit. Okay.
I got looted for fucking money. Yeah. That's what happened.
Looted and booted.
Loot is the dumbest thing ever. I don't believe in it. It's stupid.
Yep.
Anyone want to buy mine for what I paid for it? Take it.
Yeah, right. You just told him it was down 80%.
I know. There's people that are idiots.
Finessed. Apparently, the NFT world is all about lying.
Okay, this is exactly what I'm about to do with my loot. I'm about to do what the OpenSea guy did.
Let's edit the episode. So your loot is up 40%.
But it's also crazy how...
We didn't even talk about what this guy did yet.
No, not yet. But just before we get to it, the zeitgeist kind of NFT world, 2 weeks ago, I would say it's 100% of all I'm hearing, all... everyone's talking about, all social media.
Now it's over.
And 2 weeks later, I'm not following the space. I'm not I'm not buying NFTs. I know a lot of people are. I don't hear about it anymore.
The volume's down. The volume's down 50%. It's already down 50%.
Last week, everyone I talked to, everyone I know either had their own NFT, was hiring a team of analysts to run their portfolio. Now there's nothing.
There's nothing. It's like...
So what happened? What happened over at OpenSea?
Okay, so Nate Chastain, whom I actually follow on Twitter because he's... pretty informative about what's happening on OpenSea. He was bragging about the volume, and it was just interesting following him. He's like the head of product at OpenSea.
Okay.
He then apparently got caught doing some hanky-panky, like we like to call it. So he ends up featuring NFTs that he purchased on a burner wallet. And when he sold it, he accidentally transferred it to his actual wallet, and that's how he was caught. If he had just transferred to another burner wallet with the funds he received, he would have been fine. But he transferred it to his actual personal wallet, and he got caught. He basically featured. So he ended up he made 19 ETH total. So
Not
which
bad.
at let's say
60 grand, let's say.
Yeah. $60,000.
So this guy, just to clarify, he bought NFTs and then he used his own, obviously he works at OpenSea, to feature them, like on the homepage or hot NFTs, must buys. And that's how he was just flipping them real quick.
So if this guy's the head of product at OpenSea,
which is a very, very important position at a technology company.
Very important. And if OpenSea's hiring him as head of product, that means he must have been in the crypto space for a decent amount of time. It's not like...
Yeah.
He just learned about crypto in the last 6 months. So this guy is an absolute moron. Yeah. That he got so...
Because this mistake was really stupid?
Yes, it's so obvious. Like,
because I don't know what it means. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't have two wallets. I barely have a real one. So I don't know.
I like Go Yard.
Yeah. Like, did he, like, it's so obvious to like type in the wrong wallet, or like it was the mistake a really dumb mistake?
If you know he's insider trading, and I know there's not regulation against NFTs yet. There will be. There's regulations against like crypto coins. So, for example, when and this was rampant back in like 2016, before the last huge boom, that people at Coinbase, it was automatic when they listed a coin, the coin would just fly. And I guarantee Coinbase employees were loading up on Ethereum before they brought it onto the platform. Loaded up on Litecoin, loaded up on, and those were the only 3 at the time that they were offering to customers, but it was unregulated then. Then the SEC came in and told like all their, like Coinbase and all these exchanges, like, if this fuckery is going on, you're going to jail. So they like hunkered down really quickly after that 2016 boom that you can't do this insider trading. This moron, the chief product officer, should have known that. So if you're going to do this for 60 grand, is he going to go to jail for 60 grand?
I personally think he has to, like, I know it's unregulated, but like, I think he still has his job.
But what's the crime? I mean, you can't even arrest him, right?
It says that they requested and accepted his resignation.
Okay.
And they put out a statement as well saying that they don't condone this and that whole, the whole.
Yeah.
Well,
we don't condone it, but we're all doing it.
But no world he gets arrested. Yeah, but we don't condone getting caught.
Because if
no
Congress can't understand the difference between Facebook and Apple, how are they going to understand?
They're going to arrest this guy? Yeah, right. So
what are you doing, sir, on your Facebook phone?
Where did this become fungible? What? So nothing happens, right? I mean, he steps down.
He's blackballed from the industry. So I hope that 60 grand lasts him a while, because he's not going to get another job.
I don't believe that. No one cares.
That's true.
Yeah, I do feel like
no one cares.
It's an industry of like renegades. I feel like they probably celebrate it.
Yeah, they'll just be like, "Oh, this guy just got caught."
Look, here's my question: of all of the people that were in on this NFT bonanza, what percentage were doing something similar?
Plenty.
Very high.
Like,
so he just got caught. I'll look at him
or the
like
chief product officer. Like, why don't you just tell your homie to go buy it?
Yeah, well, he's not trying.
He made
to
a couple of critical errors.
Yeah.
Yeah, this poor guy.
And what's funny is I see people defending him now too. You know, it's like,
What's the defense?
What's the
defense is like, you know, he got what coming to him. Like, we don't have to keep piling on. I'm like, no, this is the internet. This is what we do. We pile on. We kick dead horses.
Hell yeah, we do.
Motherfucker.
We
Don't
fucking, that's
Yeah,
all we do here.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of this podcast.
Oh my
You're
god!
down?
But the internet, he's talking about the internet. The whole point of the internet is to kick dead horses.
Yes.
Oh my!
And I get it. Look, it sucks, but like, you can't do shit like this. It's not fair.
No.
It's not even not fair. Like, you should have the wherewithal, even if take morals out of it, you should know you're going to get caught.
But I mean, he would have simply, if he literally just sent it to his own wallet, he's in the open sea with everyone else doing the same bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know how many people did some version of this? Like selling a coin to yourself or a friend for a higher rate and running up the price is the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's what's happening. And that's happening many times over. This guy just so happens to be the head of product at the company.
He's just got to be the face. But there's no difference. He's got to be the face of taking the punishment, but there's no difference from buying a shitty NFT and running up the value to 20 grand and then selling it to someone for 40. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel bad for him because he's going to get a great job and be a millionaire. So it doesn't matter.
If he's not already, I mean, even if he must have vested some equity in OpenSea, they were valued at $1 billion in March, I think.
They're probably worth 10 now.
Sure. He's rich.
Yeah, he's rich. This guy's fine.
And he doesn't have to work anymore.
You know what? Good
He's
for this
so
guy.
lucky. He got to quit.
Winner of the week. Good job, mate. You figured it out. You're an entrepreneur. Oh my gosh. Okay. What about the next story is there's just chaos over in Macau. Have you guys been to Macau?
I've been to Hong Kong, not Macau.
I've done a ferry trip to Macau once.
Macau's an island off of Hong Kong?
Yeah, off of China.
It's a 45-minute ferry ride from Hong Kong. It's Chinese territory. Well, technically Hong Kong is now too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's basically the
Vegas
gambling capital of the world. I think
of the world?
Of the world. It's not even close. The
like
amount
most
of
volume?
Yes.
Wow.
It's not even close how much volume, revenue, amount of gambling in Macau versus Las Vegas. Like, it's multiples of
And
Vegas.
like, I went when early before it got really nice, or what people say is really nice. And it's not that nice from what I remembered.
Really?
Yeah. It has all the brand name casinos, but it's not like Las Vegas in terms of like the dining and the entertainment. You know, it is you go there to gamble. That is what you do.
That's it, like hardcore.
Yes. And our good friends over at the CCP like to, make some new rules.
They're really shaking shit up lately, huh?
They're like OpenSea.
They are literally.
I think they're the opposite of OpenSea.
Yeah, they're
like,
closed sea. Their sea's closed up tight.
Yeah,
but it
so
just feels like anything that's like popping off over there, they shake it up quick.
Yeah, so what's going on here is they basically said in 45 days, we'll decide who gets gambling licenses and who doesn't. And you're talking about the gambling capital of the world. They could just start pulling licenses. So
just because there's a lot of international licenses?
No, I think it's
just to remind them to who's boss.
Exactly. That's all it is. Because most of the gambling money in Macau is from mainland China. And there's a lot of suspicion over the years that politicians who were getting bribed would go there to wash their money. And, a lot of it is black money that's being gambled in Macau. And all the American casino operators have Macau properties. So there's a win in Macau. There's Sands.
That feels to me like the bully move. That feels to me like they're saying, we don't want all you Americans making a bunch of money in our place. And we're going to decide whether you get to or not.
I think that's some of it. I think it's more of also just to remind everyone, like, who's boss. Like,
I mean, if they put Jack Ma away in God knows where Jack Ma is, do you think they give a shit about some casino operators?
No.
Yeah,
they're like, your name's Win? Now it's called Lose.
Yeah. Oh my God. These guys are fucking gangsters. The way that they go in and shake shit up is gnarly. Like, why do you even care about Macau, by the way? You know, like
Yeah,
like
I mean-
all the shit, all the big money.
I think they just have like a to-do list. Like, okay, let's silence
Wednesday, Macau. Thursday, crypto. Friday, Taiwan.
Oh my gosh. No, it doesn't exist.
It's also true.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. Good luck to Steve.
It's a funny Macau story is that it's like well known, all the top poker players, like Phil Ivey and whoever other big guys are, they go to Macau, play these high stakes games with really rich Chinese people who just want to play against the famous poker stars, and they just take them to town. They make millions and millions of dollars playing against these.
Maybe like
Yeah.
one of the senior leaders were there. That happened. He's like, you know what? Fuck this place.
Right.
I'm shutting this whole thing down.
Yeah, that could be. That's very likely. That's very likely. That's funny, man. It seems like if you needed some cash, you just shoot over to Macau.
Oh,
You
the
know-
poker stars are all there. It's like a known thing because they're celebrities and everyone wants to play against them and they're the pros. And then, a pro against some rich guy, like who's going to win?
Oh, that's great. How great would that be? Just like, babe, like, look, I really want that boat we've been talking about. I'm going to head over to Macau for a month.
Clean out 30 mil.
I'll be back. It's like a stripper going to Vegas for a hot weekend.
Yeah, exactly. I actually know someone who was doing that in Dubai.
With poker?
Just going to clean house.
And he literally lived there in Dubai cleaning people up. And I'm like, what are you doing at? He had, this was like a few years ago when we were on our way to India. He met us and took us to dinner, and he pulls out like an insane wad of cash. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh my
And then he tells me, he's like, that's why I'm out here. I'm just cleaning these princes up.
The danger is if you
Oh man, there's a lot of IG models doing the same thing.
if you tank the wrong prince, he may smoke you.
Yeah.
I know.
So there
I'd be
is risk of
nervous,
that.
I haven't
man.
heard from him in a long time. I don't know.
He had a big win, went missing. Oh my god. Okay. Well,
Because it doesn't matter how rich people are, no one just wants to lose money and hand it over to someone.
no, especially to some shitty American.
Yeah. No, this guy was Swedish.
Oh, okay, that's totally fine then. But yeah, no one likes losing.
Yeah.
Even princes. You know who doesn't lose? It doesn't seem like is Roger Federer.
Yeah.
What's going on? So this weird shoe company. I'm sorry if I'm just maybe out of the loop here, but these shoes just look, like this doesn't look like a hot like brand, but it's the brand that Roger Federer is signed to, and he made a big move away from Nike into them. They IPO'd they're valued at over 11 billion.
They're valued now at 12 billion because of stock.
Am I
price
wrong?
again.
Like, aren't these things?
So-
like, I'm not trying
so-
to be like a hater, but don't they just seem like are they big in another country? What am I missing?
Yeah, I mean, they're a Swedish company, so I'm sure they're popular there. I think the mind-blowing part of this is they do 500 million in revenue, which is very impressive, fast-growing business. They are worth $12 billion today.
Undervalued. It should be 25.
Okay, I
Crank
mean,
it up. Do they have any tech? Do they have any SaaS in there?
no, they don't. They sell
No.
fucking running shoes.
Well, put a tracker in your shoes. 10x it.
So I mean, look, the brand they're building is very impressive. It's really truly a performance shoe. I see people in Santa Monica wearing it. I see people in New York City wearing it. It's very much like a big city, like
Rich? Is it a rich thing?
yeah. I think it's like a urban millennial that does well. I see like the people that I see wearing it is definitely more like urban millennial white like people with money. So they definitely have a really really good audience. But it's still, $500 million is a lot of business, but it's still small relative to their valuation. And I look at a business like Lululemon, who is like the dominant kind of player behind Nike. And specifically in America, that whole business is only worth $57 billion. And Lululemon has a revenue of, let me tell you right here, of $4 billion, right? So I think they're betting because I read people think that it's the next Nike. They're not the next Nike. They're
just
not. They're just not. The product that I look at ain't Nike. Okay, it's not that cool, and they're not even speaking to that youth demographic. So let's just assume that they're going after what Lululemon is because they are going into apparel. They're all going to expand categories. $4 billion is a long ways away. We're at 500 million. You have to 8x your business
So
to get to Lululemon.
I know this is going to sound random. Who'd you say at Rolling Loud couldn't walk? It was like the most famous rapper. It was Little Dirk.
Couldn't walk.
Remember, like someone made that comment, like
Uzi Vert.
Uzi.
Uzi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you know how Uzi is to Rolling Loud crowd to kids? That's what Roger Federer is to rich people. He is the king. Every rich person worships Roger Federer. Tennis is like a high class sport, and everyone goes to the U.S. Open. You're at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, but I ain't dressing like him.
But my point is, could it just be as simple as a bunch of fund managers like bidding up the stock? They all love Fed.
He went and did the
He's
the
royalty.
road show.
That would make sense. Yeah, I see what
he
you're getting
is-
at there.
You mean think if he went on the road show?
If he was on the roadshow, everyone's buying. Roger Federer he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's like the classiest.
You're rich. Are you buying those shoes?
Yeah, I
No,
think you
I'm
should.
wearing New Republic.
I think you need one pair of ons just for special occasions. Yeah, that could. I mean, look, that theory checks out. That could be it. Maybe they just want it to become the next Nike so bad for Roger's sake.
Yeah, to me, it feels like a Peloton type company in the sense that, like, exactly what you're saying, that it's very much proximity bias to the people that make
Think
all the
about who goes to US Open.
Yeah.
It's
Those people,
they're the
fund
ones.
manager.
Exactly.
Yeah, everyone who
Like, I saw people fanning out looking at Bill Ackman at
Right.
US Open.
That's true.
Right? That's the audience. It's like people, and then so
maybe this is the new Nike there in that crowd.
sure, but that addressable market is not there. You're not going to do.
Like in the Hamptons, is everyone wearing on?
It must be. It
Probably.
has to be, right?
I'm sure in the Hamptons at the tennis courts, for sure they are.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like you don't go buy like the hot Nike runners or whatever. You buy the Federer freaking ons.
I mean, if I were to start playing tennis again,
Get
I'd
some
get a
ons.
pair of ons.
Yeah.
Get the Roger. I think that's the model.
Yeah, you're in a different income bracket now.
It's not about income. If you play tennis, Roger Federer is the guy.
Yeah, but if you're rich and you play tennis, I think you need ons.
Yeah, that's the story they're selling at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe it's valued this much. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
I get 5-6 billion, which is still very rich. Because by the way, this is moderately profitable. It's like I think made $30 million. So you're talking like 40x.
I mean,
400x.
I think we just need to simplify how the capital markets work. Like a bunch of Reddit kids made AMC and GameStop hot. A bunch of people who worship Roger Federer are making on hot.
Yeah. Who else do rich white people worship?
Maybe Nate Chastain is over at moved over to On.
Donald Trump.
Is it true that I read a thing? I thought that like maybe this was just sort of like a article headline, but that AMC had like their earnings call, or maybe it was GameStop had their earnings call, and like the shares dropped because the Reddit crowd like wasn't feeling it.
They are the biggest shareholders.
Yeah. They decide.
Can you think like that's so like actually it's really cool to me, but like think about the fact that the same crowd that did all that fuckery now listens to the earnings call, and if they're not pleased with what the CEO, his direction and what his explanations are, they're like, nah, fuck this. And like so you have to cater to the Reddit posse.
Yeah, no, and it
amazing.
is wild. And I think it's very similar to the conversation Anand was just saying, that it has to cater to the audience that you're selling the stock to.
Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting, there was another IPO that came out yesterday, Dutch Bros, which is a coffee chain in the Pacific Northwest, started in Oregon. This IPO went bananas. The company is now worth $8 billion, started by two brothers who are third-generation farmers. Unfucking believable. They call
coffee
their associates broistas.
Okay, I like it.
And the founders are now billionaires. They have they started in 1992, and they started with a coffee cart. And this is like old school entrepreneurship, like grinding it out to build this like pretty impressive business. And everyone's going to be talking about On because that's kind of the big sexy business. But man, this is impressive. I kind of want to go have a
Coffee.
Dutch Bro coffee now.
Yeah, go become a broista.
a broista. They have 480 locations in 11 states. And they've built coffee is such a big business. It's crazy how many successful coffee businesses they are. Like you have obviously Starbucks, and then you have Coffee Bean, and you have then all this new development like the Blue Bottles and the Dutch Bros and the Alfred Coffees. I mean, how much coffee are we drinking?
And TSG owns 22% of the company. Good win for them.
Wow.
480 locations doesn't seem like very many.
So it feels like they have a lot of room to grow. I mean, they're worth $8 billion, so they better start growing.
But how do you get to $8 billion? Like, what's revenue on 480 coffee locations? Or do they have
$400 million in sales?
Right.
400 million. So they're worth 20 times sales.
So do they sell? Like they must sell their coffee to like retailers?
No, they're a fucking coffee shop.
But 400 million at, I guess 480. I don't know. That's shit. We should
And
start
it's
a coffee
franchised.
I took a road trip last year up to Portland. It was like 5 a.m. We're on our way back because we were just trying to beat traffic. Huge line, like 40-minute wait at Dutch Bros.
I feel like there's an
Yeah.
opportunity. I feel like that's like you could almost do like a Casamigos of coffee.
Like a cool, like
Yeah, like the right ambassador or the right like maybe celebrity endorser or whatever.
but a physical coffee shop.
Yeah, but then you also do like cold brew and stuff because cold brew's hot too.
Packaged. I mean.
Yeah. I just
So
feel like you could have a
Alfred's supposed to
massive
be-
brand.
So you have Alfred, like we're good friends with the founder of Alfred Coffee.
Yeah.
Our friend AJ does Hilltop, which is another niche coffee chain.
Sounds like you just mentioned 2 billionaires.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Sounds like you're flying private a lot more often.
as long as my friends keep becoming billionaires,
Yeah.
I get free flights.
Yeah, and free coffee. Good deal. Okay, well, good for them. Good for the bros.
What does Dutch Bros guy do when he lands in a city and he has to go get coffee? Where is he going? I'd love to know that.
Who won?
Is
The founder?
when the Dutch Bro founders, when they land in LA.
Mm.
Where are you getting coffee?
They have to have like a travel version, at least for themselves.
Just
Like a cold brew.
I mean, if I'm that rich, I have a broista just with me.
Also
He's
true.
like, you know what? I need an iced latte.
Good point.
Whip me up some vanilla iced latte, broista.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's what he should do.
Yeah. Machinery, and the guy's got the cart, and he's just rolling around with it.
Yeah. He just follows him with the cart. Back where we started.
The original cart they started with just follows him around all the time.
See, that's the type of shit. I really hope something like that's happening. What about Canva? While we're speaking of bags, who knew we were doing a bag alert segment?
This is the biggest bag.
Canva. So Canva is this business that is just raised $200 million at a $40 billion valuation. And I think the story, which we'll get into, is that these founders are, they're pledging, to give away their wealth and do huge donations and stuff like that. But I feel so out of the loop this episode because I don't know what a Dutch Bro is, and I'm not even really familiar with Canva and why it's worth $40 billion.
Canva is basically like, I want to say it's like Photoshop PDF for the next generation.
They describe themselves, so originally a tool for amateur designers or small businesses. Canva has over 60 million monthly users, but more than 500,000 paying teams, companies like American Airlines, Intel, Zoom, Live Nation, use them to basically create their
It's Photoshop.
graphics and art.
It's like a really quick, easy way of doing Photoshop. And for small businesses or individuals, there's enough. It's a freemium model. It's free. And then you want more features, you have to pay for it. And they have 500,000 paying customers. And like Anand said, 60 million users. It's worth $40 billion. The CEO is a young woman. I think she's 29 years old. Melanie Perkins, I think her name is.
Where's she giving away her bees?
So the first pilot of charitable giving is a $10 million donation to nonprofit. Give Directly is the name of the nonprofit to distribute to vulnerable families in Southern Africa.
Huh.
Okay.
Well, look at that. Well, I mean, look at this valuation. She can just line these things up.
Yeah, 40 billion. I mean, it's insane. This is a privately held, I think it's the 5th most valuable privately held company in the world. And this company just started. What is it, like 5 years old, I think?
Damn, yeah, she's Melanie Perkins, the CEO and founder, Cameron Adams, and Cliff Obrecht. Cliff looks like he has a pair of ons.
Cliff can buy on now.
Yeah, Cliff. Yeah. Wow. I mean, good for these guys and gal.
Yeah, and they doubled the value of the company just in the last 5 months.
Quarantine was good for Canva.
I'm sure because everyone became a solo entrepreneur, and Photoshop. There's some friction there. It's not easy for everybody. Like, this is an easier tool, and 60 million users.
I mean, look, I know we talk a lot about like how like lack of opportunity and whatever, but what a fucking example of the opportunity that's available today.
Insane.
Like these 3 young people, I don't know their backgrounds. Maybe, someone had it in. Maybe someone's dad worked at Adobe. I don't know, but
I watched an interview on her like a month ago, and I forgot exactly what the background was, but it wasn't technical. And she basically had a mentor here in the U.S. that she kind of was getting advice off of and stuff. And then he decided to help her out a little bit. Obviously, that was all her planning.
Sure.
And then they hired somebody to be on the technical side. So she actually had no technical background developing the software.
Wow.
But she still built it.
Wow.
Well, props to them. And I can't wait to see, over the years where they give away the billions that they will have.
I said she was 29. I think she's in early 30s.
33, 34, they said.
Which is kind of weird. Her wiki doesn't show her age exactly. It says either 33 or 34. That, my friends, is very sketch.
So what are you claiming?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why are you hiding
D.
your age?
Go ahead. Bash a female founder, D.
Good luck.
Okay,
Good luck.
Here's the thing that doesn't add up. She was Forbes 30 under 30 on the cover in 2019. Okay? Her Wikipedia says she's 33, 34 years old. That means in 2019, you were not under 30.
Okay, well, this just turned into a totally different thing.
So Dee's accusing Melanie Perkins as Elizabeth Holmes.
Here we go. Dee wants to see her on trial.
Is that a fair question to ask? I'm not accusing anything.
No, I don't think it's fair.
You're on the cover of Forbes 30 under 30, but your Wikipedia, clear that up. Your company's worth $40 billion. Put your real birthday so it's accurate, because if it looks like you were actually 31 when you're on the cover of Forbes for 30 for 30.
No, I don't think so. I think they call this mansplaining.
I mean, we just called out the open sea guy. I have no. I'm going to call out anyone.
We are equal opportunity shit talkers.
Yeah. By the way,
agree.
we shit on men more than anyone in this podcast.
I agree. That's a little fishy.
Yeah.
So maybe just look. Let's not jump to conclusions. Maybe just.
I don't know about this company now.
All I'm saying is get this shit sorted out, Canva.
If we have any listeners,
the story's too good. I've read her wiki just now.
Yeah, any listeners that work at Canva, this Australian company, I know we have some listeners that work there. Find out her real age. I want to know this deal. When do you celebrate birthday, and when are you singing to her, and what year does she claim? Because this is very interesting now.
This flipped quick. We literally went from like hero to Elizabeth Holmes. This is good. All right. Well, everyone do your digging.
Like, let us know what you find. What are you hiding on your actual birthday? Like, that's what I don't get. It's just weird. Who cares what your birthday is?
Maybe she just needed to make that 30 under 30, and she started the company late, and then it spiraled into. Oh my
and
gosh,
now it's too late. I'm worth 40 billion. So,
what was the wiki? What's good about the wiki on it, or would you?
It just says age 33 or 34.
No,
pick an age.
No, it's like the daughter of immigrants woke up at 4:30 in the morning to figure skate. Was trying to be a professional figure skater. Dropped out of school at 19.
It's too picture perfect.
Oh, born 87. So there's no way she was 30 in 2019.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I'm going to move on. But if you see some more articles pop up, we're going to go ahead and say we told you first.
We just ripped this poor girl.
Imagine Dee. Imagine the episode where something comes out and Dee's like, I fucking knew it.
Well, I mean, it's just clarify it then. Where everyone in the world is searching
this woman's
what's
name. Nuts? It was a $15 billion company in April.
That's what it says.
Look, screw her age. props to them or whatever. Because, geez, $40 billion valuation in that amount of time.
No, yeah, major props. It's insane. $40 billion. She's one of the richest.
Okay, well, clear
women
up the
in
wiki. Clear up the wiki.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Don't be sloppy about the wiki.
Don't be sloppy with your wiki.
Just take the L on that you lied on the 30 under 30.
Yeah, whatever. You're going to be a billionaire. It's fine. Okay. All right. Well, that got weird. Next thing, as if, you know what, I'd say this is a perfect episode to talk about this is just make sure you do your diligence because things aren't always as rosy as they seem. And I know that might seem like the theme of today's episode, but the reason I say that is that we have this article by CNBC that says the IPOs in 2021, they're trading below. Okay, sorry. Let me clean that up. So roughly half of 2021's IPOs are now trading below their opening price. So essentially, roughly half of the IPOs were, not a failure, not a company-wide failure, but have went down since their opening price, which should never be the case in a perfect world.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously the market is just so hot and everyone's trying to take these companies public. And like Anand has alluded to in the past, it's basically a rigged game at that level. So everyone who here's the thing, the only people that actually lost money are retail Joes that bought it at the opening price.
Yeah.
Everyone else is making money, running around in their awns, fucking going to the U.S.
Hitting
Open.
tennis balls, yeah.
Exactly, hitting tennis balls. And I'm sure they all suck at tennis on top of that. And so this article really is just reflecting that I think retail Joe is just getting screwed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think this has been going on with technology companies forever. So company goes public, gets crushed, and then you have to figure out, is this a real company or not?
Yeah.
Like Facebook IPO'd at $40 and went down to like $19, $18.
And I had a lot of friends who were very, very early. I remember I was talking to them and they were, they're richer than you can ever imagine. And they were like, I'm out.
And so here's the dynamic that people need to kind of understand is, so specifically with technology companies, you have investors that have invested more than likely 10 plus years ago, more than likely are up some gargantuan amount of money. And also the funds that have invested in these companies have LPs, limited partners. Most of these institutional investors are people like the Harvard Endowment, Yale Endowment, Ontario's Teachers Fund. So when they get their shares unlocked and they've been in this company 5, 6, 7 years, if not more, it's automatically sell. They don't care. They don't care if it's the next Facebook. That's not the business they're in.
Yeah.
The business they're in is generate modest returns for these large pools of capital. So there's so much selling pressure, specifically in technology companies, because the investors have been marked up so much, they don't care if the stock's down 20, 30, 40%. They're already up like 100x. It's all irrelevant to them. So the next thing that happens in the cycle is which companies actually build and actually are generational companies. Facebook was a generational company. So the people they all sold at 18, 19.
Yeah.
Because it was already life-changing money. They're like, fuck it, I'm not going to risk it.
Yeah, what if it goes to 10?
Right.
Yeah.
So...
But I think the thing that's so crazy is roughly half of all IPOs are trading below opening price. That's like...
Yeah.
Isn't that like that's not like just, kind of these cases in the technology world or the blah, blah, that seems to be like a fundamental...
If you were to do 2021 IPOs, way more than half IPOs were technology related.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
They gotta be. But doesn't that just seem like a fundamental problem? That means more than half of retail Joe who didn't hang on or who isn't hanging on lost.
Yes.
At opening, who bought at opening price. I mean, more than half in a year where everyone's just raining cash and making all this money, retail Joe got boned.
But then retail Joe also made money on GameStop and AMC.
Okay. Well, good for Joe. You know, you just got to pick your bet.
Did Joe win some? He loses some.
Joe might be broke and Jeff might be rich. Right next door. Okay. Well, interesting. It's just interesting.
Okay.
Seems a little fishy.
A lot of fishy things happening.
A lot of fishy things. I'm just saying. Okay. You know what? I'm with AOC. Tax the rich. Buy my merch. Did you guys see that?
Of course.
Yeah. So I mean, that's where we're at now. You're doing my shtick. You're selling fucking merch.
She's going head to head.
What the hell?
I mean, I love the exploitation of the poor. It's awesome. Just fucking use it to sell your own merch to help yourself get reelected and sell a $58 sweatshirt.
But that's okay. So to clarify, what happened was we talked about AOC wearing the Tax the Rich dress to the Met, but now, like what's all over social media and stuff. I mean, this is what happened. Is Tax the Rich is like the slogan that's on all of her merch, and like it's essentially the same like font. And so like she was more like wearing a statement piece to promote her merch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we know?
Stunt.
Is it public? Like where the like? Maybe we should ask Tim. But like, where's the money from the merch go?
So her website says no. Her website says 100% of the profits generated fund Team AOC's efforts to uplift vulnerable communities, support grassroots community organizations, and fight for systemic change in New York 14 and the USA. That is very vague to me.
Yeah, that's like 33
That's
or
like-
34.
Hey, can we upgrade from the G5 to the G6? The G5 I can't sleep too well. If I'm going...
Here's the thing.
Yeah, a
Here's
little
the thing.
noisy. The engines are noisy, I heard.
And I see it because, I'm getting DMs about it and stuff. It doesn't matter. Her fans love it. We don't. And there's nothing either of us can be convinced otherwise.
Yeah.
We don't agree with her. We're not buying the merch. Her fans like, yeah, fuck the rich. Let's go get it.
You buy a $60 hoodie, you're rich.
Yeah.
Tim, I mean, you should see the group chat right now, listeners.
Yeah.
It's a royal rumble. Tim is pissed. Tim is still gone, but he still edits these episodes, and he is pissed. And him and Anand it was Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley. It was
and guess who I was not? Tyron Woodley. I was Jake Paul. Beat his ass.
the fight of the century. So, but he like that's an example of he's all about it.
Yeah, and look, it works for her. It's going to work for her. It's going to work. It's not going to get her to the presidency because she's too polarizing of a figure.
It just makes her more famous.
It makes her more famous. Keeps her power centered in her community. But like, it doesn't matter.
There's a world
politics is entertainment. It's a show. It's a circus. Politics.
No, but the problem with AOC is her fans think she's actually trying to make a difference.
So does everyone's fans for anything. It's all bullshit. We know that. Yeah. I'm trying to educate people that all this is all bullshit.
I agree. But the way Tim was talking...
34.
33 and 34. It's all bullshit. People are lying about their age.
But the way Tim was talking is that she's the solution to all of the world's problems.
Yeah. Well, but I was just going to say, I'm
not stupid. Like, I know Joe Biden is like... He's just good enough to coast us through.
He's just barely awake to get us to keep Donald Trump out.
I'm not blinded by that. I voted for Joe Biden.
Yeah, we voted for Joe Biden so Donald Trump couldn't be president. That's it. That was our entire rationale. Not that we thought he was such an incredible, dynamic individual. Okay?
Yeah. But I could see a world where AOC's president. I mean, Donald Trump is the most polarizing person in history. And he did it.
Yeah, sure. I mean...
And we had no idea. We were like, there's no way that there is enough of these freaks to actually elect this guy president.
I understand what you're saying. I'd be shocked if we see it in our lifetime, someone like that become president. There's still a lot of the rest of the country still around.
Yeah. No,
wait, how old is she?
She's young. She can't run for president.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying by the time she can. What's the age?
35.
Oh, she's almost
31.
there. Do you know by the
31.
time she's 35, all the people that will have just freshly turned 18 that have been like fired up about these topics
You know what happens out of those kids? They're gonna go all be making money, and they're not gonna be like,
No, that was my point. She's 31, so 4 years from now, 35. The 25-year-old running around with their tax the rich is going to be rich.
And no, it's going to have money and have a family and have kids. And your priorities in life change. Like as soon as you get married and have kids, yeah, but that gap doesn't get you elected. You know who votes? It ain't those people that vote.
I know.
No one gets elected because of 25-year-olds.
But all I'm saying is there's a gap between 18 and pissed and, 30 and like family and responsibility.
The thing with AOC, her fans don't vote. We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and there's just not enough of them.
Yes.
Like that cohort of people, like and the perfect example is California. Everyone, it's like, talk about silent majority. The recall was happening in California. Gavin Newsom is arguably the most unpopular politician in the world. In the world. Nobody likes this guy. Yeah. And he fucking won by a landslide.
But isn't that's my same point with the counter to the AOC? Like, she's popular with the media and social media. Gavin Newsom, in the eyes of social media, you would have thought there was zero chance.
Zero chance.
I know, but I'm saying we said that exact thing about Trump. He was popular
but now we're a little more hip to the game.
I know, I'm just saying. You never know.
That's the point. Social media plus the media wasn't reflective of how
people felt.
So my point is, I think we're over indexing AOC's impact because she's so famous on social media.
Yeah. And social media is just not everybody. I just look in the list. Social media is a very small group of people.
In the list of things that's happened in the last 5 years, if you threw AOC wins presidency at 35, it wouldn't shock me.
It wouldn't. Absolutely agree.
It wouldn't be out of line with the last 5 things.
Yeah. And if you told me she's the next managing director at Goldman Sachs, it wouldn't shock me.
That would be hot.
Yeah. Yeah, this is fascinating.
Got mad at that.
It seems to me.
I'm not mad. I laughed. I'm laughing.
It seems to me like what's the look? We're going to be a little biased here, but like it seems to me that the kind of mass response to the tax the rich dress was like not great.
I can't wait till she's done with politics and we find her on boards of companies and as a shareholder in this private equity firm and this hedge fund gave her equity. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I think at this point, she's got to spend the next 50 years in politics.
Yeah. She can never leave.
You have to. You got to be like the next Nancy Pelosi in 50 years.
Yeah. You have to be Nancy. That's like your career trajectory.
I just want to point out my favorite thing about the discussion in the group chat is Anand and Tim were going at it, and Dee's participation just consisted of throwing memes in the group chat. No words, just
Dee knows
memes.
when to instigate. Dee knows when to jump in the fight or just throw gas on it.
So my thing is when the rioting is happening, I like to throw the Molotov cocktail.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the first one, and then leave.
Yeah, the first one, and then leave, and be like, man, these people are out of control.
Mostly peaceful. Hey, Jason, what's your general feeling?
And if she is the next Nancy Pelosi, she's going to be rich. Nancy Pelosi is worth $115 million.
She's like the insider trading queen of the world.
Exactly. She's like the open sea person at scale.
She blows Nate Chastain out of the water.
Poor Nate Chastain's getting grilled for $60K.
He just got popped too early. He had a whole career that he could have made. Oh my God. Yeah. Jason, what's your general thoughts real quick? How you feeling like now that things have aged a little?
The tax the rich thing, I get
Did you vote in the recall election?
No, I did not.
Exactly. Your opinion doesn't count. Let's move on.
All right, next topic.
33 or 34.
33 or 34. We all mailed in our ballots 2 fucking weeks ago. I mean, we know what we were up against, and it's. I'm telling you, the problem with politics, between the dichotomy between Republicans and Democrats and young people and old people and rich people and poor people, really comes down to the group that actually votes and actually cares about their community in a very different way, not just like from a headline way.
Yeah.
And those people just fucking vote. They always vote.
Okay, another question.
I've always voted in every fucking election, right? Like to me, that stuff matters because I'm a very local person and I've always been in the neighborhood and I'm involved in the community, and like voting to me knows it makes an impact on my community. Most people, they just go around their day and, 33 or 34.
33 or 34. Okay, here's my next question though: is can you in the next decade?
Yeah.
Will you be able to vote from your phone?
Not decade.
No, Republicans are too crafty.
Not decade. So
They're
maybe
fucking
20
good,
years,
man.
maybe 15 years. Obviously, we can't tell.
The Republicans will do everything in their power to limit the number of votes, not increase the number of votes.
Yeah, it's in their best interest.
But I think that changes the whole thing. If you can vote from your phone, AOC is president in 4 years.
So then no chance you'll be able to vote for your phone.
That's correct. They're increasing
Good
voter
conclusion.
restriction laws in Texas, not decreasing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Okay.
Yeah, let's
Texas
move on.
really is doing a good job at going back in time lately.
If Pelosi made 115 million pre-social media era, AOC's gonna be a billionaire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Slightly tax the rich, the 2030 sweatshirt.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. What
I
about?
have one last comment. There's
Yeah.
this guy, Antonio Garcia Martinez. He's a writer. He's really big on Twitter, and he had an interesting take on the dress, and I thought it was very important. He says the fact the catchphrase is tax the rich and not help the poor is telling.
That's valid.
Oh, that is, yeah. Someone else pointed out that it looks like it's scrawled in blood. Like
So
red was an aggressive choice.
Red pops.
Seems a
I
little
like.
violent.
I mean,
Hey, I'm just saying what people are saying. I didn't say it. I think she's great. Love her. Don't come after me. Okay. What about Congress is investigating claims that Instagram is harmful to teens?
yeah, this is a big news because basically there was an internal document that kind of outlined to Facebook employees and leadership that Facebook is causing all kinds of mental health issues and physical health issues to female teenagers.
And the point is like that there's like data or they know it or like they're making a case to prove that it is causing harm?
I think they're being misleading and covering up clear evidence of significant harm is what this whistleblower told the Wall Street Journal. And I think there's no surprise that is the case. I think the surprise is they clearly know the harm that Facebook and Instagram are having on young people, and what progress have they made on solving that problem?
None.
Right? And I think like,
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, like, what are your workarounds here? Do you make Instagram against the law for anyone under 18? Like, you can't sign up unless you're at least 18 years old. You have to get a driver's license. You have to take a test and to operate a car. I would argue operating social media can be very difficult as well from a mental standpoint. Should you make people take a test before they hop on Instagram so they understand what they're walking into? Should all people under a certain age be private so that they don't have to deal with public backlash? Like, I don't know. What are your workarounds here? Because the only thing I could think of is just like if you're under 18, you cannot go on the platform. That way you grow up a childhood not having to deal with that shit. Because like, for example, I signed up for Facebook when I was 27 years old.
Well, that's just because you're old.
No, it just started in 2004.
That's what I'm saying. There wasn't social media when you were 18.
I know, but I'm just saying that way because I was able to sign up at 27 years old, it had no fucking impact on my life.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what anyone says on Facebook. I don't care what anyone says on Instagram now. It's like, because I didn't have that burden. I didn't grow up with that thing in my head that made me feel like I was being judged by other people.
But how are you going to enforce that? Look at all the little kids running around like with jewels. And that's like, you actually got to go to a guy at a register and get him to sell it to you.
But you do mitigate it. I'm not saying you're going to remove it, but you can lower it. You can lower the harm that it does.
Imagine like the little 16-year-old like Instagram addicts that are like in the corner, like, oh, I got the law.
But this is also the issue. Like, Congress is out to lunch. They're worried about Instagram. teens are on like Roblox, Discord. Like they're not even TikTok. They're not even
That's also
talking
true.
about Instagram.
That's like a fucking nothing compared to like where the time is being spent. I think that the argument that's easy to understand is that for young
Instagram
females,
is definitely female.
Yeah, for
It's
young females,
female.
it's about their appearance and like
body.
There's a lot of bullying and body shaming and and I think
And
that's
I hear it because I have friends who have daughters who are in high school, and like the Instagram thing is nuts. Like what's happening to some of these, like the way people are talking to them, it's fucking wild.
yeah.
I mean, if you walk, I don't know if this is just LA specific. If you are at a restaurant and you see a family and there's like a 12-year-old girl, they're dancing for TikTok.
Yeah.
You could tell they have their phone
I'm
recording.
okay with that. What's wrong with that?
At least they're moving. You know what I mean? At least we're up and moving. But I don't know. Is the bullying just as bad on TikTok? I don't know. I don't know how toxic TikTok is.
Yeah, I don't have any. I don't know the behavior of TikTok amongst it. I think TikTok because it's more random, whereas like Instagram is like your high school friend is like talking shit about you on your picture, and that has such a fucking big impact on your life.
Yeah, I'm curious. The big thing too. I know that I'm the scared of China guy, but like meanwhile, China just banned video games.
Yeah,
for like more than 2 hours a week.
They're playing chess.
Oh my gosh.
But don't you think? I mean, like, what about you have to be 18 years at least to be on Instagram. What's wrong with that? What value does 14-year-old being on Instagram?
But you have to go across the board.
Yeah,
they'll just move to a different platform.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think. Look, from a video game perspective, I guess there's the social element, but it's the pictures that fucking.
But why Instagram? Like Instagram isn't the problem.
Like,
it is the problem though. It is still the biggest.
It might be
fucked up.
Sure,
it's still by far the biggest.
I think it's fair to say it's the biggest for young females, but like they just go somewhere else. I mean, it's just that's not going to solve the problem. And like, how are you even going to police that? It's just like,
well, you have parents also involved, and you're like, "Oh, are you on Instagram? That's against the law.
That's illegal." The Instagram police are going to come get you.
Unfortunately, there's never going to be real legislation against it. It's only up to the parents, and the parents only have so much control over their teenage kids.
I think the burden should be on these platforms. And not that because I think that's necessarily a perfect solution.
That?
I don't know, but I think that they have to propose and get approved a viable solution. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's no more comments. Maybe that's just a thing. Sorry, we loved comments. It was great. But
Under 18, no comments. How about that?
Sure.
Yeah. You know?
I like that.
Okay, there we go. We just solved it.
Under 18, no comments is actually a great solution.
There you go. Take that, Congress.
Facebook would never allow that to happen.
Right? But I feel like they just you got to give, there has to be a give because a ban Instagram, like under 18 just isn't ever going to work. But some sort of like, okay, how do we make these platforms, they're different. You have different access or whatever. I think that at least would move the needle a little bit.
Yep.
I don't know. Okay. We got winners, losers content. Did we miss anything?
No, that's it.
Okay. Who is our biggest winner for the week? D.
My biggest winner of the week is Crocs.
Oh, what'd they do? Just print
So
some more money?
Crocs stock just went absolutely berserk this week. It's one of the most best from performing stocks of the last 5 years. The company's now worth $10 billion. And they announced yesterday that they believe by 2026, they'll reach $5 billion in sales. So, we're talking about On, and they're doing $500 million in sales. Crocs last year did 1.4, has a market cap of 10, it's showing here. And they believe they could do $5 billion in sales within 5 years. That means like the growth they're expecting is like just absolutely bonkers. And I think the biggest part about it is like their addressable market is just fucking everyone. And there's so many people who've never bought Crocs. Like I was one of those people that never owned a pair of Crocs. And then someone gave me a pair and I was like, oh, these shoes are quite comfortable. And obviously like we're in that business now with LS Gray and a sustainable version of it. And it's just interesting because like Crocs was a category in a shoe that was like almost made. It was just a joke, and now it's about on track to be a $5 billion business. It's just insane, and they still really only sell their original item. It's not like they've done the product category extension like a Nike has done.
Yeah.
Like, wait till Crocs makes their running shoe or whatever the fuck they're doing. Like, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, I agree. That's really insane. It really is like a $5 billion item.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like they're only getting more popular. Like they're super like trendy and cool now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, props to them. They are winners. Anand?
My winner is companies that have massive unfilled job openings. So I think right now there's 10 million unfilled jobs in America. And unemployment insurance in California just ended last week. And I've gotten messages from friends of ours who were effectively living off the unemployment insurance, desperately looking for a job.
So employers are going to finally get some employees.
I think so.
Can I just add in though?
Yeah.
As of yesterday, AOC called and is now there's going to be a unemployment extension until February of 2023.
She's asking for
She's
it.
asking
She's
for
not
it.
going
Good
to
luck.
get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck, Jason.
So she wants to take the rich people's money to make sure that people don't have to work.
But that example I gave, like,
Don't forget to buy a hoodie.
Our friend just specifically started looking for a job because he didn't have to before.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think I was very supportive of the stimulus. I think it was so needed. But like,
It's
we
over.
got to get back to work.
Yeah.
It's time to get the fucking back to the office.
The data's there.
Yeah.
10 million unfilled jobs.
Yeah. So you can get a job. If you want a job, you can get one.
Every sign says
For
we're
hire.
hiring if you
Yes.
drive through the city.
Yeah. Anywhere.
Every sign.
And
Okay.
even Walmart for warehouse workers and Amazon for warehouse workers are upping their annual pay.
Amazon's
their
giving away
hourly wages. College.
$18 an hour in college, I believe.
Tim
is the new-
posted that AOC is trying to get the legislation to. Tim works like 6 jobs.
Yeah.
I know. It's just,
Nobody who and I'm telling you, most people don't agree with that. I think most people want to get back to work.
yeah.
Don't agree with what?
Like, I bet you if you polled the entire country on unemployment insurance, majority would say it's time to end it.
If there were no jobs, yes, we need to have unemployment insurance.
Yeah.
There are jobs.
Yes.
But don't the Democrats have like $5 trillion in like additional money on the
That
docket?
they want to get through.
Yeah, like infrastructure bills and stuff.
Yeah, but like, you have it's a negotiation with the Republicans, so you're gonna have to like give in some places. And I'm pretty sure Republicans are done with unemployment insurance. So if you want the money to go to infrastructure and environmental needs, then you have to give them something big. And this would be the thing to give. Unless they give up something
Biden
else.
already lowered his cap gains increase.
Yeah.
Originally, it was 40% on the campaign trail.
And now it's way lower.
Now it's 25.
Yeah.
Up from 20 to 25. But it still hasn't been legislated. That's in the bill.
Yeah.
Once it gets to negotiation, that's going down.
Yeah.
Tax them. You saw the dress. Okay, you know what? My winner. I'm going to keep it close to home today. My winner is D.
Wow.
And not only D, but what is pumping through his veins, which is the Moderna vaccine.
Thank you.
Because
shout
D,
out to Moderna.
I'll tell you what, D came back from New York and had a scratchy throat. And I was like, well, finally. Like, finally it all makes sense because D has survived Vegas, relatively social. I'm not going to act like you're out here wilding in the LA scene.
Yeah.
But
I'm not at the Phase House.
no, you're not at the Phase House, but New York Fashion Week, crowded areas, indoors.
Yeah.
And sure enough, you're negative. And that Moderna vaccine, that thing, you are,
2 tests. I took 2 tests.
you're Neo in the Matrix.
Yeah, just
You're
dodging.
There's just COVID, there's Delta, there's Mu, there's
Yeah, Mu,
whatever.
boom, Delta, boom.
can't be touched.
Moderna is just an unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's all that
Company-
running. Maybe I know you eat a lot of quinoa. So people, I think scientists should really start taking a look at you. Yeah, I know everyone's taking a look at Joe Rogan, but they should take a look at you.
I mean, I get an enormous amount of what they call the D, vitamin D.
Okay.
All right, and D gets an enormous amount of D. So everyone, there's your answer. So anyway,
Go get some D&B COVID free.
Yeah, congrats, man. Congrats. Okay, what about who's our loser?
My loser is NFTs this week.
Yeah,
it's just crazy how a week later, like the hype just has, like even on Twitter, it went from talking about every single tweet was NFT, 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 NFT. There's still a lot of people talking about it, but someone made the comparison to like let's take Clubhouse and let's take NFTs, and it said, we all rush into things and then it dies off and we don't let people build out their companies, their thesis. And I think it was using the example of Clubhouse, like where everyone used it. And now Clubhouse is not considered in favor by like the communities for the most part. Yeah. And that happened to Snapchat. And then, 5 years go by, Snapchat's a $100 billion company. So I believe Snapchat is an anomaly, and the people that work at that company have done something very, very special to stay relevant. That's not the normal situation. When you go out of favor culturally, you're usually gone. And I'm not saying NFTs is gone at all. I actually do believe in what's happening, but I do think that first iteration, and then, to top it off, I think the cherry on the top is when Joe Public just finds out like the guy at OpenSea is rigging the fucking homepage.
Yeah.
That doesn't give you confidence to want to go and buy it, because now we know we are all on the outside of this momentum. Yeah. And just like everything else in the world, it's an inner circle and we're not a part of it. Yeah. And so I think the last 7 days, I do think it causes a pause on the NFT craze.
Pause. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. That's the sad thing too, is because a lot of the like talk, I know it's more of like a crypto thing, but like is like getting rid of the fat cats getting fatter, and
it's not cats now. Now it's dogs. Yeah. That's all it is. Yeah. It's not. It's because it doesn't feel decentralized when the guy at the company is working it. Yeah. That's very centralized.
Nate over there is fucking things up for everyone. Yeah, I agree. That was going to be my loser too. I just think that, look, I do think that on some level NFTs should exist and they're great.
I agree. And I think the concept is fucking brilliant. I even love the art part of it. I think that piece is amazing too. But it's just like anything, we take everything and we fuck it up by getting overexcited about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Content. D, any content recommendations for the coming weekend?
Yeah. So it's music. It's Baby Keem's album. I know I mentioned it last week. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
It is. He reminds me of like, I don't know. It kind of has like a Kid Cudi vibe to it, but he's just like a better rapper. And I just think he's just incredible.
Yeah.
Arjun's sister is in the music video.
No way.
Yeah.
Which one?
I'm not sure which one, but she's like the main romantic interest in the music video for the entire thing.
Wow.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. He's great. And I think he has like he's obviously aligned with all the right people and very talented. So I think, he's got a long career ahead of him.
And most importantly, he has an identifiable birthday. He is 20 years old.
Is he, or is
He's
he
not
29?
20 or 29. He was born October 22nd, 2000.
Okay.
Well, shout out to Baby Keem. You know what I was going to say is the fourth album. It's, of course, Certified Lover Boy. Then it's Donda. Then Baby Keem. The fourth album on the charts is Rod Wave. Is really great. Have you guys listened to Rod Wave at all?
I'm not even familiar with...
I've not caught the wave.
I think you should check out the Rod Wave. Ride the Wave. It's
what kind of music is it?
It's he's like a soulful. Soulful is going to make it sound wrong. It's like a singing rap.
Okay.
But
like a Post Malone?
No, it's pretty different. He's a real big guy, and he's like a singing rapper. I think you'll like it. It's kind of mellow.
Okay.
Check it out. It's number 4. It's the deluxe version of his album Soulfly, and it's number 4, at least on
Maybe when he hits 3, I'll give it a shot.
3 or 4.
I feel like you've probably heard a snippet of his biggest song, Hard on Ice.
It's the number 3 or 4. We're not deciding yet.
33 or 34.
But check it out. You might like it. It's just this guy's popping off. This is a good example on it. I think you asked me a while ago of like who's an artist that's like popping that we wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And I think he's an example. Like if he performs at like a Rolling Loud, it's like bananas, but it wouldn't normally hit our radar.
I'll check it out.
You got any content recommendations for us on it?
Yeah, my content, we didn't talk about on the episode, but Trevor Moat died, who you knew well, right, Drama?
Yeah, very well.
And I think Dean knew him too, right?
Yep.
So he's a motivational guy. He has a company called Limitless with Russell Wilson.
Limitless Minds.
Yeah.
And
I just recommend people just listen to old interviews of his, read a book of his, because I thought he has incredible content and I've learned a lot. So,
It sucks. I actually recently wanted to reach out to him just to ask him a question about something I was thinking about.
Yeah.
And then I opened up social media today. I think I texted you guys. And I was like, he died of cancer, which is apparently he was battling it for the last 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know. And I noticed that he got a little bit more, like hard to, like he wasn't responding as quick. It just seemed like, he was really busy with something or whatever. And so I didn't know. But yeah, even the first episode of Short Story Long that I did with him was really good. And it was one of the ones, almost like a Kevion type reaction where like a lot of people really
I'll listen to that again.
reached out about it. Yeah, he was good. But yeah, man, rest in peace. I had no idea. That was a shocker.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Okay, that's what we got. Do we have any shout outs?
No shout outs for me.
Okay. Any plugs?
I have a shout out.
Okay.
I have a shout out from our guy Chris, who I won't say his last name, but he did reach out a few weeks ago when he was in the final interview for a job, and he was talking about how group chat was so helpful in the way he thought about his life, his business. So he ended up getting the job.
Nice.
And he's he's received 5 incredibly competitive offers for the role that he wants. And this guy also had an MBA from an ACC school. We're not going to mention the company, but he goes, starting his job on Monday. And he's like, it really feels like a university, a MBA that he's receiving listening to the podcast. So congratulations, Chris. He's just like, now all I need is some Allbirds and a Daytona, and he feels like he's crossed everything off his list. Okay, let's just.
Sounds like you need some ons.
Yeah, it sounds like you need some ons.
Step it up, man.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool just to get these stories. We get so many really cool DMs from people, telling about how we impacted them in some way. And even when I'm out and about, and people come up to me and goes, "Hey, I got this job because of you guys. My business turned around because you made me think differently." So there's a lot of positive impact we're making on people, and it's exciting to see it happen in real life.
Yeah, that's what's cool about podcasts is like you have all these listeners, but like you don't see them. There's not even comments.
Well, you don't go anywhere. I see them. Don't worry.
True. Okay, you speak for us. But I mean, like you don't see like response. You don't even like. There's not like a comment section for the last podcast.
Yeah.
And but people are really like it's changing sort of like people's decisions or feelings.
Yeah, it's cool. And by the way, like if you haven't joined our Discord, it's fucking incredible. So I'm learning things and getting news and really, really cool things out of it. And I think the most interesting thing that, I mentioned, I wanted to add, we added it, which is like a job board, basically. So companies that are hiring and people are looking to connect, I think that thing is just going to explode.
Yeah, that's great.
Because there's so many people looking for career changes. There's so many people looking to learn new industries. And I get DM'd at least once a day about like, hey, where can I go develop engineering skills or computer science skills? And like that in itself is going to be such a powerful tool for a lot of people here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I can't wait to hear the stories from that.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Good and bad.
Yeah, people
I hired someone from your Discord. They stole from me. They robbed the register. Oh, man. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you guys for listening. Everyone have an incredible weekend. And we'll be back on Sunday.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.